was very nonchalant about saying that, CC. Are the Celtics a threat to the Cavs?
I mean, they are a threat. JR said they're not a big threat. There's a lot of unknowns about the Celtics. What type of chemistry? During the preseason, Kyrie Irving, he played a lot different than the Kyrie that we've seen. He is a shoot-first, score-first point guard. During the preseason, he assisted on 29% of their possessions, which is a lot higher than any other point in his career. So what type of player will we see? They don't match up well against the Cavs. Well, they have no one to guard LeBron. So they have no rim protector. So those two things right there, depending on the Cavs, what they do. I'm with Nick. I've been won over. I like D. Wade, and I like his hairstyle, but I think that
always important.
They need to put him on. Well, LeBron ain't got no hair, so you got to have some hair in the lineup.
The lower half, facial hair.
But I think that J.R. Smith and his ability to be able to spread the court, Kevin Love at the 5, J.R. at the 2, I think it makes Cleveland a huge favorite over the Celtics. The Celtics also, they got how many new players?
They only have 4 returning players.
4 returning players. So it's interesting to see how that team comes together. LeBron has always struggled when he tried to come together. Golden State last year struggled a little bit, got crushed in the first game against San Antonio to start the season. So we've seen growing pains when teams add a bunch of new players. So I expect Boston to have the same type of growing pains, but the Cavs are the favorite and a huge favorite in the East.
Nick, is chemistry an issue when guys are at this level and they've been playing with all different guys being dropped in at any given moment?
I think chemistry is most important in the NBA.
Chemistry is important on any job.
But agreed. I would say even more so in the NBA when the best basketball, it's like a choreographed play. Like
Yes.
we've seen the teams that we have seen reach the best team basketball in recent NBA history are the second and third year LeBron was with the Heat, and the last 2 years the Warriors have been together. And last year with the Warriors, what you saw was early in the season, they were dealing with some of the same struggles the Cavs were, the Heat were dealing with in LeBron's first time, or LeBron's first season there, which was your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. And when both of those teams really became the juggernauts that they were, it was when it became a play, when it became like a dance that everyone knew the steps to. So yeah, I do think chemistry matters. Now, what the Celtics have going for them, so I'll be fair here, is Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is, I believe, the best tactician in the NBA. You're going to get about 6 free points a game.
Wait a minute. No. Explain that to me.
Okay. I think Brad...
There is a guy in San Antonio.
I think Greg Popovich is the best coach in the NBA.
Okay,
because
so
of
what does Stevens do that's different?
I think Stevens out-of-bounds plays, out-of-timeouts plays. I think Stevens sets. I think this X's and O's stuff Stevens does.
I've never heard anyone say that. So you're the first person on record to say he's
I don't think he's a better coach. I think he's the best tactician, right? Like there's the...
Just offensively, not defensively.
I don't think they've had the talent defensively, so it's hard for me to judge him. Listen, Greg Popovich is the best coach in the NBA. I'm trying to think of a football. So how about this? I think Andy Reid is a better offensive tactician than Bill Belichick is. But I think Bill Belichick, for all the other reasons, is a better coach. I think Brad Stevens is going to put his players in the best position to win. I think Brad Stevens is going to figure out how to get the most out of a very new roster. With that said, is JR right that they're no big threat? No, he's wrong because he didn't need the word big. He could have been laughing. Like, the Celtics are less of a threat to the Cavs this year than they were last year. And last year, they were no threat. Last year, they played them in the playoffs.
Last year, they had no chance.
They lost 4 games to 1. The one game that they won, LeBron fouled out, and it took a three-pointer at the buzzer to beat them. But last year, at least they had some bodies you could throw at LeBron.
Yes.
Last year, they had arguably the NBA's best perimeter defender in Avery Bradley. Last year, they had Jay Crowder, who, again, Jay Crowder is not a franchise-changing player, but you need someone you can throw at LeBron to try to slow him down.
10 to 12 minutes.
Right. They don't have that this year. And what they do have, what they traded, and this is what I'm so excited to watch, CC. We know what Isaiah Thomas is without LeBron because he's been without LeBron his whole career. Everyone assumes the Celtics traded for the Kyrie Irving we've seen the last 3 years. But the Kyrie Irving we've seen the last 3 years has been playing with the best playmaker in the NBA, one of the best passers in NBA history, and a guy who is always going to draw the attention from the defense.
And he also relieved him a lot of the point guard duties when he wanted to rest. Kyrie could go sit in the corner. LeBron could bring the ball up and start the offense.
So how big of a drop-off is that then?
Well, I think
it's more taxing on your body, mentally and physically, because he can't let his mind rest like he was able to do with LeBron.
And that's not just during the game. Cece, this is something, how mentally taxing is it when you're the best player on a team and you're the guy that everyone is going to, when things are bad, that you're the one that has to answer those questions?
All the press conferences, all the explanations, Danny Ainge's, whatever he does, he's going to have to comment on whatever's going on in the city. It's a different role for a player being a superstar compared to being the voice of the franchise.
And let's just remember where he's playing. Boston's not an easy town to play in, across the board, any sport. You're a new guy who some people are questioning whether they should have traded the old guy. And now you've got to come in and you're expected to be the man and put up points. And I know you can't compare the two, but when you had, I mean, is he going to average 30 points a game, 40? I mean, could he keep that point production up?
Listen, the last year...
And make Boston fans happy?
Last year, Isaiah Thomas averaged 29 points a game. It was second in the NBA to Russell Westbrook. Last year, Kyrie Irving averaged 25 points a game. I think Kyrie is more likely to duplicate the point production than Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas' career year, and he's going to be asked to do less, and he's coming off an injury. But the question with Kyrie, CC, is never can he finish with a lot of points.
No.
It's how many shots did it take to get those points. And I understand that Kyrie was a young player before LeBron got there, so it's not totally fair. But what I know is this. The year before LeBron got there, Kyrie shot 46% effective field goal percentage. His first year with LeBron, he went from 46% to 66%. Now, part of that is his own personal growth, and part of that is he's getting much easier shots.
Yes.
Playing with Gordon Hayward is not going to give him those same opportunities. So if the Celtics weren't a threat to the Cavs last year, you and I watched the games together. We were, Jenna, you weren't in LA.
Hashtag never invited, ever.
You weren't. You were living
anything.
Cross country. It was a different situation.
Skype,
I know you're
FaceTime.
sensitive.
FaceTime also works.
At no point did you and I think the Celtics could beat this Cavs team.
No.
I don't know what's significantly changed. It would have changed if the Celtics had added Kyrie and the Cavs hadn't added Isaiah. But when they both flip-flop their point guards, like, what's the big change you see? Like, I don't see it.
No, I don't see it. The one thing, too, I want to watch as the season goes on, because Kyrie's about getting buckets. Now, during the preseason, he was distributing the ball, throwing all kinds of fancy passes. When you get in the season, and how does he defer to his teammates, or does he go back into what his mode is that I'm a scoring machine? And I think that based on what you're saying about Boston, the Boston fans are going to love Kyrie. The reason why? They've never had a player like him in their history. Now, they got a great basketball history, but they have never had a ball player come to the Boston Gardens, whatever it is now, whatever it's called now,
TDs, something.
Something.
Yeah.
They haven't seen a guy that can finish around the bucket, left or right hand. They haven't had anyone can dribble like that, three-point range. Like, he is a magnificent player, but how he develops with these other players, that's the question.
Don't leave out Danny Ainge, but besides him.
Danny Ainge ain't
people. Anyway, time to go to a break, so I guess you can't back up that point. He was fantastic. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.